Good morning, students. We are going to continue chapter 6 of NCERT, that is Molecular Basis of Inheritance. Students, we have already done with the concept of transcription and genetic code. Now it's time to study how messenger RNA able to form polypeptide chain with the help of ribosome and transfer RNA, that is tRNA, which is the ultimate aim of the genetic information. So this process, particular process of formation of polypeptide chain from messenger RNA is referred as translation. So whole of the video will be devoted to the single topic, that is translation. First of all, we need to understand what tRNA exactly is, what kind of a structure it has, and what kind of function it performs for the translation process. tRNA basically referred as adapter molecule, and Francis Crick proposed that presence of adapter molecule is able to read the codon one by one from one end to the another end and bring about a specific amino acid for the formation of polypeptide chain. It is very strange that tRNA molecule was known before when genetic code was not even deciphered. Okay, so at that point of time it was referred as soluble RNA or sRNA. Its role as an adapter molecule was reported much later. This is very important and interesting fact regarding tRNA. Okay, now you need to understand the structure of tRNA. tRNA is sometimes referred as a clover leaf-like structure or inverted L-type structure. You can see there is anticodon to the codon being present on the mRNA. Okay, always the attachment will be on the basis of complementarity, and on the basis of this codon it is going to bring the amino acid. The codon which is being present on the mRNA, the particular amino acid will be bring down according to the codon being present on the mRNA. This is very important point. Again, you can see over here the codon is being present on the mRNA, and the adapter site, that is the anticodon site, will be here, and on the reverse side of it the amino acid is being bind with the tRNA molecule. So that's how tRNA going to bind with a specific amino acid and helps in the formation of polypeptide chain. Now comes to the structure of the tRNA. It is a three-dimensional structure, highly coiled structure, and it is referred as clover leaf-like structure or inverted L-shaped structure. It has basically 5 loops: anticodon loop, amino acid acceptor and T-loop, D-loop, and variable arm. Anticodon loop, which has basis complementarity to the code or the codon being present on the mRNA. And amino acid acceptor site is a site where the amino acid is actually going to bind with the tRNA. T-loop help in binding with the ribosome. As you know, tRNA can't work by themselves. They need ribosome for the attachment, and this particular loop, that is T-loop, is going to help in that process. Next is D-loop, which help in binding amino acyl synthetase. And this particular enzyme is very important for the activation of amino acid. We will later study in this video only. And there is variable arm, which can be vary in nature from different types of tRNA. As you know, tRNA is particular for particular amino acid, is very specific for particular amino acid which is going to bind with particular tRNA molecule. A specific tRNA for initiation is called initiator tRNA. As you know, there is always be an initiator codon, and there will be specific tRNA which is going to read that particular start codon, and that initiator tRNA is referred as a specific tRNA, that is initiator tRNA, because whole of the process of the translation is going to be started with the help of initiator tRNA. There is no tRNA for stop codon. You have gone through the table of the codon, which codon is going to bring what kind of amino acid you have already done, and you can easily see that there is no tRNA for the stop codon because stop codon do not code for anything. Okay, so what translation exactly is? Translation is a process of synthesis of protein or the polypeptide chain from mRNA, the messenger RNA, the message which is being encoded from the double stranded of the DNA structure with the help of ribosomes. Translation unit of mRNA is from 5 prime to 3 prime, comprises of the start codon, region of coding for whole sort of polypeptide, and a stop codon, and there will be untranslated regions as well, both at the 5 prime end and 3 prime end. And recall, when we have done the transcription process, we have done 5 methyl guanosine triphosphate is going to be added at the 5 prime end, and at the 3 prime end there will be 200 to 300 base pairs of A, that is referred as poly A tail. This never ever being encoded for any sort of protein. So there will be always untranslated region, that is UTRs, and UTRs are very very important. The abbreviation has been asked in numerous CBSE board examinations, so you should clarify this term first. At both the end, that is 5 prime end and 3 prime end, there will be some regions which never ever being encoded for particular amino acid, and these particular regions are referred as what? That is UTRs, untranslated regions. They will be present at both of the end, as we have discussed in the transcription. At the 5 prime end there will be 5 guanosine triphosphate. That particular process of adding 5 methyl guanosine triphosphate is referred as capping, and there will be a poly A tail, that is more than 200 base pair will be again and again repeatedly added at the 3 prime end. So you should be very much clear what are UTRs exactly. The three stages of the protein synthesis of the or the polypeptide synthesis are the initiation, elongation, and termination. So how initiation process carried out, that is assembly of the ribosomes on mRNA. As you know, ribosomes always remain as a small subunit and large subunit, and they became almost lonely before the synthesis of the protein. When there will be the synthesis of the protein is going to be start, these two subunits going to make 70s or 80s as the type of the cell being concerned, either eukaryotic or prokaryotic, and that assembly is being established for the mRNA attachment. And activation of the amino acid is very very important. After activation, that particular activated amino acid is going to be attached to the specified tRNA molecule. And the next step is the elongation step. Here you can see the repeated cycle of amino acid delivery is going to happen again and again. The amino acid delivery is carried with the help of the tRNA molecule, and it is particular for the particular codon, and particular amino acid is going to be brought by the specific tRNA molecule. Peptide bond is going to be formed. As you know, amino acids are going to be attached with one another with the help of the peptide bond, and movement along the mRNA is referred as translocation, because whole of the strand of the mRNA is going to be encoded or deciphered with the help of ribosomes and tRNA, and that is going to be happen with the process of the translocation. The final step is the termination, and that carried with the help of some release factors, because some release factors need to be associated with that of the mRNA as well as ribosome, so that the detachment of the ribosome with the mRNA can be possible, and release of the mRNA with the polypeptide chain, newly synthesized polypeptide chain can be happen. We will see these steps in great detail one by one. You can imagine whole of the process of translation by this simple lucid diagram. You can see mRNA here, that is 5 prime to 3 prime at the 5 prime, and you can easily locate this start codon, that is AOUG. AOG also code for methionine, always remember. And stop codon, there are basically three stop codon. Recapitulate them with the help of the table, and one stop codon is being present over here. And these are the two subunits, large subunit and small subunit, and these subunits are going to be bind together to read particular mRNA. And here also you can see the tRNA with first amino acid, that is anticodon, is going to be brought, and the tRNA is specific for particular amino acid. Okay, so first step is the initiation step. The translational complex forms and tRNA brings first amino acid for the polypeptide translation process. Okay, then there will be elongation. The whole amino acid chain is going to be delivered by reading specific codon, and specific amino acid is being added with the help of the tRNA molecule. And the last step is the release factor recognizes the stop codon. You can see this red structure is actually the release factor, and it recognizes the stop codon, and translation complex is going to be dissociated altogether, and whole of the polypeptide is going to be released from the translational complex, and this can be recycled for further use, that is further manufacturation of different type of polypeptide chain. So that's how whole process of translation is going to be achieved. Let's move further. This is a beautiful animation how whole process is going to be achieved. You can see there is translocation of whole of the ribosome from one end, that is 5 prime to 3 prime end, is going to happen, and one by one each codon is going to be deciphered with the help of ribosome and tRNA. So tRNA is going to transfer the particular amino acid which forms the bond with the previous amino acid, and that particular bond is referred as what? That is peptide bond. Okay, and you can easily recognize the tRNA molecule is charged with the help of ATP kind of molecule. As you have learned, ATP is also synonym with that of the GTP. Okay, GTP are also energy rich molecule. Here it has been shown, but for the time being, you can consider as that of the ATP. Okay, so initiation. In initiation, you can easily observe in prokaryotes. As you know, we start with that of the prokaryotes first, and later moves to that of the eukaryote. And here I am telling you one fact that the eukaryotic translation process is very very complex. So for the 12th standard, we have to focus only for that of the prokaryotic translation process. Initiation requires large and small subunit to combine together, and initiation of the tRNA along with three initiation factors are being required. Okay, so first thing we require, that is ribosome, large and small subunit, which are going to form 70S ribosome structure. Okay, and mRNA, and initiation tRNA along with that of the initiation factor. That's what is being required for that of the translation of a particular mRNA in prokaryotes for whole of the initiation process. And the next step is the activation of the amino acid. Without activation of the amino acids, the amino acid will unable to bind with a particular tRNA molecule. So how this is being carried out It is being carried out with the help of a particular enzyme, that is amino acyl tRNA synthesis. Amino acid is going to form a bond with ATP molecule, and amino acid AMP complex is going to be formed along with the enzyme, and release of one phosphate moiety will happen. As you know, ATP is going to break down into the ADP, then finally the AMP. And here you can easily recognize two phosphate inorganic phosphate are going to be released, because ATP is going to be converted into the AMP, and this complex, that is amino acid AMP enzyme complex, is going to be formed ultimately with the help of an enzyme, that is amino acyl tRNA synthesis. Okay, so the next step is what happened to this activated complex. It ultimately going to bind with a particular tRNA molecule, and the AMP is going to be released along with that of the enzyme. So the final attachment of the activated amino acid happens with that of the tRNA. That is the sole motto of whole of the process. Until unless the amino acid are going to be formed a bond with that of the tRNA, nothing for that of the translation is going to happen. So this is the prima facie step which need to be carried out for whole of the process of translation. I hope these two steps are being clear to you. Move to the next part. The cap region. As you know, capping happen in the transcription process. After transcription process, capping and tailing are two important process by which the immature mRNA is going to be converted into the mature mRNA. The cap region of mRNA binds to the smaller subunit of the ribosome, and ribosomes are going to have two sites, that is A site and P site. As you know, amino acids are the zwitterions we have done in the class 11. So A site and P site are the two sites which are going to be joined, particularly with the 5 prime and the 3 prime end. The small subunit first bind to the initiator mRNA and then binds to that of the larger subunit with the initiator codon. This is very very important. The smaller subunit bind first. This is very very important step. The smaller subunit of the ribosome is going to bind first with that of the initiator mRNA, and then the initiator codon is going to help in the binding of the larger subunit lies on the P side. Okay, so the initiation tRNA, that is a methionine tRNA, then binds to the P site. Okay, as you know, methionine tRNA is what? That is initiator codon amino acid, that is going to bind with that of the P site. Okay, P site is the specific site for the whole of the initiation process. Elongation of the polypeptide chain. Another charged amino acid acyl tRNA complex bind to that of the A site of the ribosome at the second codon, and there will be formation of a peptide bond. And how this peptide bond is going to be formed? Because the COOH group of the amino acid at P site and the amino group, that is NH group of A site, is going to form a bond, that is peptide bond, with the help of an enzyme, that is peptidyl transferase. Just imagine two important bond, that is COH, that is carboxyl and amine, and is going to form a bond, that is peptide bond, with the help of one enzyme, that is peptidyl transferase, to form a peptide bond. Okay, P site is the initiator site and A site is what? That is going to bind with that of the consequent amino acid. The ribosome slides over mRNA from codon to codon, and in the direction of 5 prime to 3 prime, and according to the sequence of the codon, particular amino acid is going to bind with the uh, consequent amino acid. Okay, so attached to one another with the help of the peptide bond. And as you know, the enzyme which is going to help in the formation of the peptide bond is peptidyl transferase, and polypeptide, whole sort of polypeptide chain is going to be formed ultimately. So this is how elongation is being carried out. The last step is the termination of the polypeptide. When the A site of the ribosome reaches the termination codon, which does not code for anything, as you know, there will be stop codon. So no charged tRNA is going to bind at that point, that is A site. So some release factors are going to bind at that site, and whole of the dissociation of large and small subunit of the ribosomes with the mRNA with the polypeptide being formed over there will happen, and whole of the translation complex is going to be dissociated, and that can be utilized for further translation process. So termination codon, as we have started, we have three terminator codon. These are UGA, UAG, and UAA. So always remember these codon because they can be asked in any sort of examination. They are very very important from their CBSE board examination. So, the last topic we need to conclude: what is the difference between mRNA and tRNA? mRNA is a linear chain like structure. However, tRNA is clover leaf like structure or inverted L shaped structure. Okay, it carries coded information. As you know, mRNA carries information from nucleus to that of the cytoplasm, and tRNA carries information association with that of the amino acid, and that information is carried with the help of the anticodon site. mRNA undergoes additional process because capping and tailing will happen at the 5 prime and 3 prime and respectively. It does not require tRNA does not require any sort of processing. All thing is being there because charging of the amino acid happens priorly before the binding with the tRNA molecule. So there will be no further processing with that of the tRNA molecule. In mRNA molecule, nitrogenous bases are unmodified, but in tRNA molecule, they are quite modified. As you know, there will be activation of the tRNA molecule with the help of amino acid. So there will be some changes in the nitrogenous base pair in case of tRNA. I hope this part is quite clear to you. Please go through this presentation at least thrice and make your notes so that you can memorize at any point of time. Thank you. That's all for today.